In an isolated corner of the multiverse, a barren landscape stands beneath a sky of crimson and black. The wind is eerily still. Two figures, each a force of nature beyond comprehension, face each other in complete silence. Superman, the man of steel, protector of Earth, living legend. His cape rustles faintly as he narrows his gaze, eyes alive with purpose, yet tinged with wary respect. And then Black Bolt, king of the Inhumans, silent sovereign. A whispered word from him can shatter mountains and unravel reality itself. This is not a brawl for the sake of spectacle. This is a contest with one simple rule. Who can silence the other first? The air tightens, thick with anticipation. Superman is the first to move a courteous step forward, hands open, a non-threatening gesture. He knows who stands before him. But this is not Clark Kent's world. There are no bystanders, no cities, no consequences for collateral. Black Bolt's brow furrows, his entire posture radiating discipline or volcano eternally on the verge of eruption. For an instant, neither acts. Because against all instincts, it's not about the first strike. It's the first to silence. Superman, with all his speed, could close the gap in less than a blink. He processes every scenario. From freezing Black Bolt with a super breath chill to encasing him in an airless vacuum, muffling any sound. But he knows if he makes a mistake. If even the faintest vibration escapes Black Bolt's lips, the world beneath their feet could cease to exist. Black Bolt's eyes, unreadable, glitter behind his tuning fork crown. He feels the quiver of air molecules. He senses every heartbeat, even the ones half a mile underground. It is not his way to speak first. Superman floats upward, a streak of blue and red ascending into the clouds. From there, he releases a gentle ripple of heat vision, not as a weapon, but as a warning. But Black Bolt does not respond. Seconds stretch into an eternity. Superman, whose very name is synonymous with power, is accustomed to being the one others fear. But Black Bolt is different. He does not need threats. His silence is the warning. And then there's movement, a flicker of Superman's jaw. An almost imperceptible intake of breath, preparing the tiniest sonic boom, potential distraction. Can he startle Black Bolt into making a sound? But Black Bolt will not be baited. His restraint is legendary. Suddenly, Superman decides on a different tactic. At a blur, he races around Black Bolt, creating a vortex. A cone of pressurized air so intense that it could force the sound from any living thing. But Black Bolt stands untouched at the eye of the storm, unyielding, lips sealed, his control absolute. Superman's advantages are speed, strength, and invulnerability. But in this moment, it's his compassion that becomes his greatest liability. He cannot bring himself to risk the devastation a single utterance from Black Bolt would cause. But Black Bolt faces a different challenge. His entire life is built on silence, an oath not just of discipline but of mercy. Yet for the first time, his own voice could save him if only he dared to use it. Black Bolt weighs his options. If he speaks, even a whisper, he knows Superman could withstand the initial blast. Would the shock distract Superman long enough for Black Bolt to silence him permanently? Or would Superman, faster than the vibration can spread, use his super speed to muffle the King's voice in a split second, ending it before it begins? There is, however, another factor. Black Bolt's telepathy. Not a conscious superpower, more an empathic presence. He reaches out not with words, but with intent, an overwhelming aura demanding stillness. Superman feels it an unfamiliar pressure, urging his every cell to freeze. It's not enough. He resists. The standoff continues. For a moment more, time stretches. Two beings, each unmatched, save by the other's restraint. Suddenly, Superman blurs forward, hands clamping over Black Bolt's mouth, hoping to prevent any sound at all. But already, Black Bolt's eyes have narrowed. One breath, one phoneme, and it could end everything. But the Blackagar Boltagon that stands in this void is not reckless. He lets Superman act, lets him believe he's won. Because in that instant, Black Bolt does not need to speak. He simply wills the silence. A pulse of quasi-sonic energy radiates not as sound, but as a shattering vibration, subsonic, felt more than heard. Superman's senses roar with statica white, absolute nothingness pressed into his eardrums, while a handful of seconds, all is still. Superman recoils, his superhearing nullified by a silence deeper than any he has ever known. He understands then who has won. And above all, he understands sometimes the most powerful weapon isn't a shout, it's the silence after. The legends, both defined by power, but in the end, it's restraint and not force that silences gods.